I want to just get your reflections, and we'll do a full episode on this at some point. And we've touched on it, of course, you've touched on it deeply. But the aspects of Havana syndrome
Oh,
in relation to the UFO file.
oh, I think it's huge.
Yeah.
I think it's huge. Um, and there's any number of ways to play this. Uh, if you have a mind manipulation technology that quite literally is capable of injecting via modulated microwaves, literally injecting voices into the human brain and carrying on internal conversations. And the very same technology, kind of in reverse, able to read the brain waves of an individual and using what I've called electroencephalographic dictionaries, actual pictures of the brainwave patterns as certain words are spoken to or occur to an individual, and thereby use those patterns to read what that internal conversation is saying. If you've got a technology like that, and that technology, let's remember, has been in development, at least in the public record that we're aware of, as far back as the early 1970s.
Hmm.
If you've got that kind of technology, then it becomes possible to stage events like abductions where the abductees are experiencing telepathic conversations.
Oh,
You know,
right.
this is constantly part of one of the themes you'll find over and over again in a lot of these abductions. Well, is it really telepathy that's being used here, or is it a technology? And for
Right.
that matter, is telepathy an example of that kind of physics phenomenon of modulated microwave interferometry? So again, I think there's a huge possibility here that a lot of these things that we attribute to ET may in fact be something that is a human black technology in development.
Hmm.
Uh, so I think there's a definite UFO connection. And let's go further. If we follow the crash and recovery scenario, who's to say that these technologies aren't part of that crash and recovery scenario?
Yes.
Again, I'm not a fan of the crash and recovery scenario because I think it's way overused in ufology.
I guess
To
it's enough to just say that it has happened.
It has happened, yeah.
Yeah.
So would that be something that might have been part of that technology that has been I again, we don't know. But I
It
think
makes a great deal of sense. You're tapping right into it, but finish
yeah.
that thought.
Well, I as I say, I'm not a fan of the crash and recovery scenario because I happen to think that if that's your first place that you go to in trying to explain advanced technology, then you've really surrendered the field.
Hmm.
This is it's not explanation, because what that does is it prevents you from seeking explanations in the human scientific literature
Hmm.
for these types of things.